Is everyone able to see my slides? Give me a thumbs up, please. Wonderful. So, like we talked about yesterday, the first and most important thing to know is to make sure or to take a mental note of what device you're currently using. So you may be on a computer, you may be on a cell phone, or you may be on a tablet. This is important to note because directions will look different across the different devices. I know that we went through some of these directions yesterday, so at this point, I know that so many of you are already Zoom pros. So to get us started, like Ernesto talked about, we want to make sure that everyone is able to participate in the language they feel most comfortable with. For that reason, we have interpreters with us today who will be translating from English to Spanish. Please go ahead and click the globe in the bottom right of your screen if you're on a computer. So if you're on a computer, you're going to click on the globe on the bottom right where the arrow is pointing. And then you're going to select the language of your choice, English or Spanish. Please note that even if you're listening in on Spanish, you still have to select the English channel. So, my apologies. If you're listening in on English, you still have to select the English channel. If you're calling in on your cell phone or tablet, the directions are pretty much the same. You click on the 3 dots to the right of your screen. Bear with me. I'm going to ask that people mute themselves. You click on the 3 dots to the right of your screen if you're on a cell phone or tablet, and then you click on language interpretation, and then again, select the language of your choice. Once you're in the interpretation feature, some of you may already be experiencing this, where you're hearing a lot of Spanish and a little bit of English. You want to make sure that you mute the original audio. And so if you're on a computer, you're going to be following the first picture. You're going to click on the language on the bottom left. And then you're going to click on mute original audio. If you're on a cell phone, you're going to click on the 3 dots that say more, just like we did to turn on interpretation. And then you're going to toggle on silence original audio, which is circled in the yellow. If you're on a tablet, again, just go ahead and click on the language that you're using. In this case, it's Spanish, pointed by the arrow on the right, and then click mute original audio. Let me see a thumbs up if people are feeling good about it so far. Thumbs up. Great. Next, I want to make sure that people know how to mute and unmute themselves. So just like we did yesterday, there are going to be opportunities for people to come off of mute and share their experiences. And then after that, we ask that you mute yourself if you're not talking. So very much like we would do if we were in person, it wouldn't work if everyone was talking simultaneously. And so please do mute yourself when you're not speaking. You can do that on a computer, cell phone, and tablet using the same buttons. It looks the same. So you're looking for the microphone at the bottom left of your screen. Or you can look for the headphones, which will also be at the bottom left of your screen. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and our help desk, Brittany, will reach out to you directly to make sure you have support. Turning your video on and off is similar. You're going to click, if you're on a computer, cell phone, or tablet, you're going to click the same buttons. So it's going to look like the video camera, which is being pointed to by the arrow. We know that since everyone is working from home, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. Come as you are. Please do come on video if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay too. You can just turn on your video on and off as you feel comfortable doing. So you may see that there's currently 47 beautiful faces on your screen, and we want to make sure that you're able to go between single view or the speaker view as it's seen here and gallery view. And so to do that on a computer, just move your mouse towards the top right of your screen, and then you should see speaker view, which is pointed by the arrow on the top, or the gallery view, which is pointed by the arrow on the bottom. If you're on a cell phone, all you want to do is actually swipe to the left or the right to toggle between speaker view and gallery view. And then finally, if you're on an Android, you're going to click on Meeting Settings, and then you'll be clicking Gallery View as indicated by the red arrow on the right. I already see that our chat is blowing up, which is amazing. I want to keep that same energy going on over the course of the day. And so in a second, but not yet, I'm going to ask people to drop a message in the chat for me, okay? So to use the chat, if you're on a computer, on the bottom left of your screen, you should see the chat function. Go ahead and click on that as pointed by the arrow. Again, I'm gonna remind folks to mute themselves if they're not speaking. And then on the cell phone and tablet, you're going to click on the three dots to the bottom right, More, and then click on Chat. And so in a second, if you haven't already, I invite you all to say good morning in the chat. Just say good morning. And I'd like to see my chat blowing up, so I don't see that yet. Yes, there we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for coming back. All right, let's keep going. So renaming yourself. This is going to be a very important piece of today. It's going to be important that folks who are listening in on the Spanish channel rename themselves with the number 1 in front of their name. And we'll talk about how to do that in just 1 second. On the bottom of your screen, you're going to click on Participants, as shown here by the red arrow. In this case, there are 51 participants, so go ahead and click on Participants. And then look for your name in the participants list that shows up. So if you haven't already, go ahead and look for your name in the participants list. And then if you're on a cell phone, that should give you the opportunity, it should pop up a screen that you can type in. Go ahead and put the number 1 in front of your name if you're going to be listening in on Spanish today, so that we can put you in the right breakout group. If you're not listening in on Spanish today, just rename yourself using your name, your pronouns, and the organization. So I'm going to give us a second. I want to make sure that everyone has changed, everyone that's going to be listening in on Spanish has changed their name with a 1 in front of it. If you're on a computer, depending on what view you're in, just look for your beautiful face, your little square, hover over it, click on the 3 dots in the top right, and then click Rename. So I'm going to rename myself for a second, and I'm going to put the number 1 in front of my name, the way I would like for you to rename yourself. All right. So I'm seeing some number 1s that looks great. Thanks, Marco. Thank you, Esperanza. Thank you, Alicia. Great. I'm going to keep us moving along. There'll be plenty of reminders over the course of the day to make sure that you're able to fully participate. Again, if you're joining us a little late, which is fine, there is no such thing as late over here. please go ahead and add the number 1. Rename yourself. So don't put it in the chat. Rename yourself with the number 1, just like I have. With the number 1, if you're listening in Spanish, your name, your pronouns, and where you're calling, the organization that you're calling in with. If you have any questions about that, please go ahead and drop it in the chat, and our help desk, Brittany, will be with you shortly. Finally, we're going to have breakout rooms like we did yesterday. And so right now, you all are not seeing that option, which means that we're all on the same page. But when we break out into breakout rooms later, you're going to get an option at the bottom of your screen that looks like 4 squares. Let me see if I can point towards the 4 squares for you all. Okay, I won't do that. Yes, I will. Okay, so the 4 squares should look like this, where I've drawn with my circle, okay? You don't see it right now, but as a reminder that when we go into breakout rooms, you're going to be seeing 4 squares. Just click on it to join your breakout room. You'll get the option to click join breakout room. If you accidentally click later, that is okay. You will get the option again at the bottom of your screen and just click breakout rooms once again. When you enter your breakout room, you will see the breakout room that you're in, information for that breakout room at the top of your screen. It'll tell you the name of the breakout room, and then you should be able to see everyone in that group. Any questions, concerns, or comments for me right now, please put them in the chat. And again, as a reminder, if you're not speaking, please do put yourself on mute. And if you haven't already and you're listening in on the Spanish channel, please do go ahead and rename yourself. I see that we have 65 people on the call right now, which is great. Please do rename yourself if you're listening in on the Spanish channel with the number 1 in front of your name. Thank you so much. And with that,
thank you, BK. Thank you, everyone, for joining our Zoom orientation. And I hope everyone is feeling comfortable using Zoom. We usually would take a 5-minute break, but we're going to go right into Congreso Day 2 in just a moment. But just as a reminder, we're going to try to have breaks throughout. And we'll be hearing uplifting movement music from DJ Que Madre, as you heard yesterday. But welcome again to Day 2 of CEJA's Virtual Congreso, Rising Up for a Just Recovery. And I see folks coming in. Welcome, welcome in the chat. I'm your MC, Ernesto Arevalo with Communities for a Better Environment. And we're starting with some digital housekeeping to make sure everyone is listening on the correct Spanish or English audio channel.